this is Chelsea Darnell-Jung, and the purpose of this video is to make sure getting started with ENERCALC is smooth and frustration-free. Whether you're a trial user, new to the program, or just need a refresher, over the next few minutes I'm going to walk you through some key things you need to know so that you can hit the ground running with confidence. Now let's get started. First, we're going to open up ENERCALC. If you haven't installed and activated ENERCALC yet, please refer to the installation and activation instructions you received via email to get the program up and running. If you need those instructions again, or if you have any issues with installation or activation, please email us at support@enercalc.com. We've also put together a short video playlist on activation and installation. I'll include the link in the description below. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up ENERCALC on my desktop. If this is your first time using the program, or if you're sharing seats with other users in your organization, you'll likely be prompted to choose an activation type when you open the program. For additional information on these activation types, please check out the activation types video linked in the description below. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to select Automatic and then Continue to the app. Now, on the Project Assistant page, I can either select an existing project file to work in, or I can create a new project by selecting Create a New Project. This opens up the file location on my computer that I've set up for storing my ENERCALC project files. So I'm going to give my project a name and then save my project file. Now we can see that ENERCALC went ahead and opened that Chelsea's Home project file for me, and now I can start working in this project. The first step in any new project is to open the General Division and enter the project-specific details. Now these sections are optional. Filling them out can help organize your work and ensure your calculation outputs include relevant project information. I'm not going to go over these tabs in detail right now, but I do want to show you the building code information section. So let's open that up. Now this is where we tell ENERCALC what the governing codes and design standards are for this project, and which load combinations should be the default load combinations for the calculations that we generate in this project. Starting with our Governing Code and Design Standards section at the top, here we can select the governing IBC edition we want to use for our project. We can use this button to sync the reference design standards with the selected IBC edition, meaning that the design standards below will be toggled to the reference design standard from the selected IBC. We also have the flexibility to independently select the IBC, ASCE 7, and Material Design Standard editions, so that you can align with the specific requirements of your local jurisdiction. So let's say for this project I want to use IBC 2024, but I want to reference ACI 31825. Now if I choose a design standard that is different from the default standard of my IBC edition, I'll see this text here change. And again, if I want everything to match the referenced IBC, I can just click this button. If I want to set these governing code and design standard selections as the default for new project files, I can click this button here. This will update the program-wide default standards for future projects. Existing projects will not be affected. Moving on, we have the option to add a state-specific code compliance note on our reports. Clicking this box gives us the ability to decorate our calculation reports with a customized note. We can choose to start with a generic note, and then we can easily customize this note for our project as needed. Moving down, we can select the load combination set that we want to use as the default for this project. So you'll notice that the load combination set is not tied to the governing code that we've selected for the project, and this is because users might choose to use either default load combinations, or they might choose to use their own custom load combinations. And then over on the right, we have the option to add the review agency information for our records. Once we've updated all the information in this building code information page, we can save and close. Now let's start adding some calculations. Let's say I want to add a wood beam calculation to my project. I can do this by clicking into my calculations folder and then clicking this add button. Then I can navigate to my beams tab and I can select my wood beam module. And from here we're going to navigate through these tabs to input all of our relevant design information. I'm going to speed through some inputs here so that I can highlight some key features of the ENERCALC user interface. Okay, now that we have some information in this calculation, I want to point out this side-by-side layout, where we have our inputs on the left and outputs on the right. And you'll notice that as I made changes to my inputs, I could see my outputs updating in real time. And when we're happy with our inputs, we can direct our attention over to the output side of the screen, and we can start to look at our deflection performance, our stress ratio performance. We can look at detailed design results. We can review our diagrams. And based on our output results, we can choose a design that's appropriate and save and close to finish this calc out. If you have any questions or if you need additional information, you can always access additional resources by navigating to the Help tab in your program. Or you can always email us at support@enercalc.com and we'll be happy to help you. Thanks for watching and have a great day.